Rapunzel, the girl with magical golden hair. Long ago, in a beautiful kingdom, there lived a kind king and queen. They had everything they wanted: big palaces, gold, and loving people. But there was one thing missing in their lives. They had no child. Every night, the queen looked at the stars and prayed softly. "I wish we had a child," she whispered. After many years, their wish finally came true. The queen was going to have a baby. The king was overjoyed. The whole kingdom celebrated with music and lights. Behind the royal palace, there was a mysterious garden surrounded by tall walls. It belonged to an old witch named Gothel. No one dared to enter because people believed she had magical powers. One day, the queen looked out of her window and saw beautiful green plants growing in the witch's garden. She wanted them badly. "Please, bring me some," she said to the king. The king was worried, but he loved the queen very much. That night, he secretly climbed over the wall and picked some plants. The queen felt happy after eating them, but soon she wanted more. So, the king returned again. But this time, the witch suddenly appeared in front of him. Her eyes looked cold and angry. "How dare you steal from my garden?" she shouted. The frightened king begged for forgiveness. The witch thought for a moment and said, "I will let you go, but you must give me your child when it is born." The king was terrified, but he had no choice. Months later, a beautiful baby girl was born. She had shining golden hair and sparkling green eyes. The king and queen named her Rapunzel. But one dark night, the witch came to the palace and took the baby away. The queen cried for days. The king searched everywhere, but Rapunzel was gone. Far away in the middle of a forest stood a tall tower with no doors and no stairs. That was where the witch kept Rapunzel. As Rapunzel grew older, her golden hair became magical and unbelievably long. The witch raised her and told her, "The world outside is dangerous. You must never leave this tower." Rapunzel believed her because she knew nothing else. Every day, Rapunzel looked out of the tiny tower window. She watched birds flying freely and wondered, what is life like outside? She loved to paint, sing songs, and dream about adventure. Whenever the witch wanted to enter the tower, she stood below and shouted, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel dropped her long golden hair from the window, and the witch climbed up. Years passed. On Rapunzel's 18th birthday, she looked at the sky and saw glowing lights floating far away. Every year, those magical lights appeared. "Mother, what are those lights?" Rapunzel asked. The witch quickly answered, "Nothing important. Forget about them." But Rapunzel could not stop thinking about them. "Please, can I see them just once?" she asked. The witch became angry. "No, never ask again." Rapunzel felt sad. One sunny afternoon, something unexpected happened. A young prince named Eric was riding through the forest. Suddenly, he heard a beautiful voice singing. He stopped his horse. "Who is singing?" he wondered. Following the sound, he discovered the strange tower. But there was no door. Confused, he hid behind a tree. Soon, he saw an old woman arrive. The witch shouted, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." To the prince's surprise, long golden hair fell from the tower. The witch climbed up. The prince could not believe his eyes. The next day, after the witch left, the prince stood below the tower and called softly, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel was surprised. She thought it was the witch. But when the prince climbed up, she stepped back in fear. "Who are you?" she asked nervously. The prince smiled kindly.
"My name is Eric. I heard your singing." At first, Rapunzel was scared because she had never seen anyone except the witch. But slowly, they started talking. The prince told her stories about rivers, villages, flowers, and mountains. Rapunzel listened with wonder in her eyes. "The world sounds magical," she whispered. Day after day, the prince returned. Soon they became best friends. Then something deeper grew between them. Rapunzel realized she trusted him. One day she softly said, "I want to see the floating lights." The prince smiled. "I will take you." But the witch soon noticed something had changed. "You are hiding something from me," she shouted. One day, Rapunzel accidentally revealed that she had met someone. The witch's face turned dark with anger. "He is lying to you. Everyone outside will hurt you. But for the first time, Rapunzel stood bravely. No, I want to see the world. The witch became furious. She cut Rapunzel's magical hair and locked her far away, another place. When the prince came back, he found the tower empty. Heartbroken, he searched everywhere. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Still, he never gave up. Meanwhile, Rapunzel missed the prince terribly. One evening, while sitting near a river, she softly began to sing. Far away, the prince heard a familiar voice. His heart raced. He followed the sound, and finally, there she was. Rapunzel, he called. Rapunzel turned around. Tears filled her eyes. They ran toward each other. After so much sadness, they had finally found each other again. The prince brought Rapunzel back to the kingdom. The king and queen recognized their daughter immediately. They hugged her tightly and cried tears of happiness. The kingdom celebrated for days, and every year, Rapunzel and Eric watched the glowing lights together, remembering the journey that brought them together. From that day on, Rapunzel was never trapped again. She lived freely, surrounded by love.